WPSD Local 6, your breaking news and weather authority. This is Local 6 Today in high definition.
It's just about to turn 5:02. Thanks for starting your Tuesday off with us.
Really cold outside, but you know what? Not
Gonna
as
get
cold
colder.
as it's going to get.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to check in with John in a little bit.
First, here's what's new this morning. A towboat operated by a Paducah company is leaking oil into the Mississippi River. The U.S. Coast Guard says a towboat operated by Marquette Transportation Company hit a submerged object and sank into the waters yesterday near LeClaire, Iowa. All 9 crew members on board made it to safety, but oil did leak into the river. The towboat was carrying about 100,000 gallons of petroleum products. The Coast Guard, the Environmental Protection Agency, and local emergency crews are all assessing the situation.
3 people in McCracken County, Kentucky faced charges this morning for allegedly selling heroin. Detectives arrested John Elkins yesterday after a traffic stop at the intersection of Old Mayfield and Hauser Roads. Inside Elkins' vehicle, they say they found 3 grams of heroin packaged for sale. If convicted of trafficking charges, Elkins could spend up to a decade in prison. Now, the 2 others were arrested at their home on Cornell Street in Paducah. Police say Melanie Dawson and Mark Holmes had needles filled with heroin and more than 9 grams of packaged heroin for sale. Dawson and Holmes face possession charges. Dawson also faces wanton endangerment because there was his 15-year-old daughter in the home at the time. And an update on the case of neglected child abuse cases in Arizona. The director of Arizona's Department of Economic Security says his department will review all of the unexamined reports by next Monday. A report out last week revealed that the state's Child Protective Services Agency did not examine more than 6,000 reports. State police are investigating how the neglect happened.
Amazon's largest market outside the U.S. is facing a labor dispute. Several hundred workers in Germany walked off the job yesterday, demanding better pay and better working conditions. A German labor union reports that 200 workers walked out at Amazon's logistics center in Leipzig. 300 employees went on strike in Bad Hersfeld. The online retail giant accuses the labor unions of blackmail.
And looking at what's happening now, Illinois is getting ready to marry same-sex couples starting in June, but there are still a few unanswered questions.
That includes whether gay couples will be able to marry if one of them is in a state prison. We spoke with a spokesperson with the Department of Corrections who says he does expect them to be allowed.
We don't believe that if that marriage is a same-sex marriage, that there would be any significant change in our policies as currently exist.
Now, Tom Shayer does say if both people are in prison, a marriage is not allowed.
Meanwhile, a Chicago couple is set to be the first to marry in Illinois.
A U.S. district judge ordered the Cook County clerk to issue an expedited marriage license to them, Bernita Gray and Patricia Ewart, because Gray is terminally ill. Happening next, China plans to launch a lunar probe early next month. The Change 3 will have a lander and a lunar rover. Its mission will include orbiting, landing, and then returning to Earth. It will be the first time a Chinese spacecraft has soft landed on the surface of an extraterrestrial body.
Chrysler plans to offer its stock to the public next year. The company was supposed to offer it this year, but its Italian owner Fiat and a union-controlled trust could not agree on pricing. Fiat owns more than 58% of the automaker. The healthcare trust owns the rest. If the IPO goes forward, shares would be traded under the symbol CGC.
Now, weather on the 6s.
30s with sunshine Thursday afternoon.
Thank you, John. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has an honor from People magazine. He's been named the sexiest 55-year-old alive.
This is the second time he's made it onto People's sexy list. In a recent interview, Cuomo said he thinks he got the honor because his state is sexy.
He's too sexy for his state.
I was thinking I'm sexy and I know
no,
it.
That works too. That applies.
But for some reason, that story made me want to sing. For aspiring chefs, this week is your time to shine.
From turkey to stuffings and dressings and desserts, the Thanksgiving menu comes with endless possibilities. After the break, we'll show you how to find some of the best recipes with just a click.
And Weather Authority John Champion's in next with your weather on the 6s. Right now, it's 5:13. You're watching Local 6 Today.
19 minutes after 5, your Thanksgiving menu may already be set, but there's, always room to look for something special to add to the table.
Our consumer technology reporter, Jamie Tucker, shows us where to find some of those recipes.
Would you please take it from one of the eaters? WPSD, Local 6.
That big oven app Jamie talked about also has a paid version that gives you many more features. You can find them both in the iTunes or Google Play stores.
But of course, before you cook, you have to get the right ingredients. Coming up at 6:12, Local 6's Marissa Hollywood will scan the aisles at a local grocery store to help you shop. Their duty is to protect and serve the public, but a police officer in Texas is accused of raping a 19-year-old.
Now the alleged victim is speaking out about the attack. We'll hear her account just ahead.
Plus, a negotiation stalemate among local educators who's helping them reach a deal is next. You're watching Local 6 Today.
Your breaking news and weather authority with Mike Mallory, Johnette Warwick, Marissa Hollywood, and weather authority John Champion. You're watching Local 6 Today in high definition.
It is 5:30. Thanks for starting your Tuesday off with us. And on our Facebook fan page, we're talking about food. Weather-wise, we're talking cold, so we're kind of thinking comfort food.
Comfort foods.
Stuffing, gravy.
Now, somebody said you have to call it dressing at Thanksgiving.
A little later on.
All right, thanks, John.
To what's new this morning, the Affordable Care Act is headed for a new Supreme Court showdown.
The U.S. Supreme Court meets behind closed doors today to decide whether to hear several cases challenging the health care law and its birth control mandate. NBC's Tracy Potts brings us the latest.
Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
And if the justices do agree to hear the cases, arguments could begin next spring.
And the ruling could come in late June.
In Texas, a police officer is out on bail this morning after being accused of rape, and now his alleged victim is speaking out. This 19-year-old says 40-year-old police officer Jackie Neal raped her while on duty early Friday morning. According to police reports, Neal followed the woman while on duty around 2 Friday morning, pulled her over, handcuffed her, and then raped her. The woman wanted to hide her face, but says she also wanted to open up.
It was ugly. I don't want no one to have to ever go through it and get put, especially someone young like me.
Records show Neal spent less than 30 minutes at a county jail on Saturday. He is waiting for an indictment now.
Happening now in Brookport, Illinois, 8 days after an EF3 tornado tore through the town of Brookport, federal aid could finally be arriving. Governor Pat Quinn was in Brookport yesterday. He said the state asked President Obama to declare 15 counties federal disaster areas. He also said food and water meant for typhoon relief in the Philippines from Chicago are now going to Massac County. Now, the governor also joined the Red Cross to open up a multi-agency resource center at the city's elementary school. The facility will help storm victims with long-term needs. Regional CEO Cindy Erickson says the Red Cross is in its referral stage.
It's really finding and taking care of those emergency assistance needs and then helping to connect to other agencies who also provide vital work as well.
If you are a victim of the tornado and you need help, the Resource Center will be open again today from 10 until 6. Again, it's located in the gym behind Brookport Elementary School. Also, we have a scam alert for Brookport residents. Police Chief John Barr says someone is claiming to be from FEMA, calling residences, asking for social security numbers and personal information. He says if you get that call, hang up and report it to police.
A federal mediator is stepping in between teachers and administrators in West Frankfort, Illinois, to help them negotiate a contract. Last night, more than 100 people showed up outside the District 168 office for the first negotiation with mediator. As of right now, the two parties have hit a stalemate. Teachers say the conflict is not about money, but about language that will cut retirement and put a hard freeze on pay raise steps.
We need to get back to the job of educating our kids, and you know, to do that we shouldn't have to be worrying about our futures and our career futures.
Their current contract expired in August. The superintendent says he doesn't want to comment on the contract until they come to an agreement.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Trend which will last into the weekend.
Well, on our Facebook fan page this morning, we're asking you about your favorite Thanksgiving dish.
Is it the dressing or the turkey, or is it all about the dessert? Join the conversation on our Facebook fan page. We're going to share some of your thoughts next. It's 5:42. It's also almost time for that big feast. Just 2 days away now from enjoying Thanksgiving dinner.
The menu, of course, includes turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, and a whole lot more. So today, we're asking about your favorite Thanksgiving dish, and here are some of your thoughts.
We start with James Gullidge, who says favorite Thanksgiving food would be turkey and dressing, hash brown casserole, and pecan pie. Very thankful for all Thanksgiving dishes because there are a lot of people who don't have the chance to have a Thanksgiving dinner.
And Lisa Ontiveros says, my sister's homemade dressing and her deviled eggs. I bet her sister appreciates that.
I bet she does. Ben Wassman says, deep fried turkey and homemade apple and raisin stuffing.
All right, keep the comments coming. We'll share more of your thoughts ahead on Local 6 Today.
That was raisin. I said raisin.
You said raisin. Yes, you did.
Now checking Twitter, Thanksgiving is trending. The Turkey Day is just about 2 days away, but the winter weather may wreck plans for a lot of travelers. Some of the worst weather is expected tomorrow, the busiest travel day of the year.
And hashtag Family Guy is trending. Many fans are shocked and angry at the show's producers for killing off Brian, the family dog. The show's creators say they needed something to shake things up.
Not Brian. No,
yes,
it's a cartoon. They can always bring it back. You're watching Local 6 Today. Weather Authority John Champion in next with your weather on the 6s.
And then Jay King will have this morning's business brief.
And in 2 days, in a matter of hours, we're all going to be eating like pigs.
Yes, we are. So we better start exercising now. What do you think?
Good point.
All right, well, we want you to comment on the favorite Thanksgiving meal, right?
Very favorites, dear. Whether it's dessert or main course or whatever. It's on our Facebook fan page.
Right now, you're watching WPSD Local 6 Today.